Well, with that in mind, let's call on Fred Fleitz of LigNet again as he Skypes back in from Washington. Fred, you just heard the president's remarks. Your reaction to those remarks?
Well, JD, I thought it was a good presentation. It laid out how the president has tried to strike decisively against ISIS in Syria. I agree with you and John. The Khorasan angle was sort of unexpected, but I think there simply is some compelling new intelligence that suggests that there's an imminent threat from this group.
Well, we just heard from John Bachman the whole notion of renewed types of airstrikes or air attacks like we saw 9/11 2001. There's also been talk of the type of lone wolf attack. Of course, it's impossible to predict what terror groups might utilize. But this Khorasan group, is it just A to Z, soup to nuts, be ready for any type of action?
I think that, I don't know what type of terrorist attack that they're planning. We know that Al-Qaeda, since the Bush administration strengthened aviation security, has tried everything possible, both lone wolf attacks by recruiting Islamists behind our borders, as well as package bombs, underwear bomber. The range of possibilities is quite wide on what they might be planning.
All right, Fred, well, now as we look at these different groups, one of the things that has been discussed here is the legality of these presidential airstrikes using prior authorization from Congress under the Bush administration here. The Obama administration, we heard from Secretary Kerry and the president himself saying that they can use that authorization because this group, ISIS, is an offshoot of Al-Qaeda, one and the same here, but of course Al-Qaeda and ISIS say they are separate. What do you think about the questions of legality with these airstrikes, or is that really just moot now when we hear somebody like Peter King saying it's time to rally around the president and the flag?
Well, I may give you an answer to that you don't expect, John. First of all, I'll say it's curious that the president, after saying that that he wanted to repeal the authorization for military force in Iraq, now is trying to use that same authorization. But I would argue, since the War Powers Act is unconstitutional, Republicans should not be making an issue out of this, because there will be a Republican in the White House one day, and JD, I'm curious about your view on this, and they're going to be setting a precedent, tying the president's hands when he needs to take military action by insisting the president have an authorization for war here.
Well, Fred, as you remarked on this and invited my comments, our viewers were watching the President and the First Lady board Marine One to head to Andrews Air Force Base and take Air Force One up to New York. I will tell you, it was my experience, Fred, during my days in Congress, that whatever our disagreements with the President may have been, and this was President Clinton at that point in time, when the President asked for something, when it dealt with national security, perhaps in the Balkans and the Bosnian theater, we as Congress would grant his request. So I am imagining that right now a core group is there, but politically you have a situation where you have others who have criticized this action. I think of Senator Rand Paul. We do see a growing notion of what I will not call isolationism, but America first. We have to understand the clear and compelling reasons to take some action. So I expect in the political realm you will see some blowback, but that will take a few days. Right in the here and now, I think you'll see us united. With that in mind, Fred, as always, we thank you for your insights, and we remind those looking in that for more updates, check out lignet.com.